What's going on, guys? ChaseWins.com coming to you Friday, September the 6th. I'm going to make this short, sweet. I actually got delayed this morning coming out of Chicago, so flight actually left about 3 hours later than it was supposed to due to some of the planes coming from the East Coast with all the weather and everything, you know, up around Myrtle Beach area, and then even some, you know, flights down into Georgia and North Carolina were all affected. So some of those flights coming in, it was all one big clusterfuck. So needless to say, I got backed up, but I did get a lot of work done, but I did not get a video recorded at the airport while I was there. And I just thought it was kind of disrespectful because I was in the American Express lounge, and it's usually a quiet place. People go to work, things like that. So I just, you know, was quiet, did my work, and I didn't want to trying to record a video when I knew other businessmen were sitting there trying to work as well. So baseball plays are up, posted. It is getting late though. It is 2:30 p.m. and I literally just walked through the door. I was originally supposed to land at 10:30, so about 4 hours behind right now. But nevertheless, I got all the MLB done, got about 75% of football done. MLB is up, posted on the site, top play, everything that's done. NCAA, I've got, because there's 4 games total today, I've got 2 of them broke down. One of them I will for sure have a play in. I'm going to give you that one as a free play. And then the other 2, I'm sure I'll have at least 1 play in. I may end up having 3 plays tonight in college football. But I still got 2 games to break down. So about an hour it'll take me to break down, make my decisions, and then I'll get the NCAA plays posted up. And then I'll get an email sent out to all those customers letting them know that they are up. So probably around 4:15-ish on those. So let's do a recap of yesterday, and then we will jump on a free play, and then I'll get out of here because, like I said, it's getting late. It's already 2:30. I'm sure it'll be closer to 3:30 by the time this is up. And I want to make it as short as possible. That way you have as much time to watch it and get on the free play. So yesterday, we did not have a play in the Bears-Packers game, as I said yesterday. Sucks the outcome. The defense was great. Offense could really never get going. Trubisky showed some good things. He was about the only one with legs last night, so that was the only downfall to that offense. That offense, never got going, and it seemed like every time Trubisky would, start making strides, even though he would have to do it with his legs a little bit, which I don't like either, it's like Nagy was pulling him back. So it's like, you know what? If that's the only way you can generate offense, go out and generate it. I mean, there's just going to be certain times that the quarterback has to do it. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. That's always a tough game, no matter how good or bad, either team is. So, but it's a hard one to take, especially when you first game of the season and as hyped as everybody was. That place was absolutely electric last night. One of the best, I think one of the loudest times I've ever been there. So anyway, we did not have a premium play in that. So it was all MLB yesterday. Free play Chicago Cubs, nice easy win over the Brewers. Top play yesterday, I told you, I was one of probably the last times we're going to find value in the Houston Astros in this regular season. Hopefully we can do it again since they haven't locked in home field yet, but took them on the run line as a top play yesterday. That was a hard-fought, very high-scoring game. They were down like 7-1 early. Gave up a ton of runs in the first and second innings, so it wasn't looking good. But they came back, took care of business, covered the run line, top play winner. And then we had the Texas Rangers as an underdog, plus 110 on the money line. They took care of business. Only 2 losses we had of the day were the Pirates and the Boston Red Sox. Pirates, both games were decent. From what I could gather. I actually watched a good bit of that Red Sox game on my phone when I got back to the hotel. So, excuse me, long night. All right, so 3-2 day, but a good day overall because a nice little dog winner and a top play winner. So a nice day of profit. That's what we're about. That's what we're looking for, and we're going to go out there and hammer the weekend. So, guys, if you are not already on a package, jump on. 7 days, $100. 3 days, $50, and you can get 3 days. That's going to get you tonight's MLB plays with top play, all the NCAA plays. You are going to get a full slate of college football tomorrow. We are going to have a big day in that, and you'll get that as well as any MLB that we will have tomorrow, and you'll get MLB on Sunday along with a full slate of NFL, and then we will have a NASCAR card this week as well. Patrick's already working on that. Going to get that posted up as soon as he's done. And we may have an NCAA Play of the Week tomorrow. I have not. I'm waiting on this line to move a little bit because I think it's going to, because there was a player in question. But I think that that'll all be solidified by early morning. So as long as we can get confirmation that he's going to play or not play, I don't think it's going to matter as far as my decision, but it's going to matter for the line. Because if this particular player is not playing, then obviously that line is going to probably go in my favor. If he is playing, then it's probably either going to stay where it is, or it could go up and take it out of the range of value for me, and then I just won't play it. So we'll see on that. But we will definitely have a top play tomorrow. We just don't know if it'll be that caliber of one. So let's get on a free play for today. I'm going to give it to you in football. Marshall, Boise State. Boise State's always been a high-powered run 'em and gun 'em offense. You know that, especially at home on that godforsaken blue turf. God, I hate that field. But they've always been a very high-scoring, dominant team at home. You know, with their level of competition that they play some tough football. And based on who they play, the size of their schools and everything else, that's one of the hardest places in the country to play. No, it's not like Texas A&M or, you know, something like that. But for that type of level, you know, just, you know, where you go to certain schools and you can't even get 3,000 kids in the stands, that's a place that sells out games. There's probably nothing else in Boise, Idaho. So all they have to look forward to is, you know, Fridays or Saturday nights in the fall. So God bless them. But they're always a high-powered run 'em and gun 'em team, especially at home. So this year's not going to be any different. They're going to be going out there battling for a conference championship, as they always are. They've never really gotten the national respect they deserve, I don't think. So I always think they have a little bit of chip on their shoulder coming into each season. So usually at the start of every season, it's like they have something to prove, whether they really do or not. And then Marshall's one of those teams that has surprised people over the last few years. Look at what they did against USF in the bowl game. I really think that Marshall didn't get enough credit, and I think that usually the defense is where Marshall seems to find their most success. Past 2 seasons, that's really turned the corner, and they've been more of an offensively minded team. This year's going to be no different with the players that are returning, as well as some pretty high recruits that they got that were some of the best high school players coming out of that region, that Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia region. They got some of, you know, a handful of 3-star recruits. They got a couple of 4-star recruits. And to be honest with you, the amount of talent that was coming out of those areas was not anything to brag about. But the best of the best, Marshall picked up 2 of them. And I think that they could very well see the field as early as tonight. And if that's the case, I think Marshall's going to air the ball out. And they're going to play the same aerial attack that Boise State is, which is going to mean shorter possessions, more scores, and if it doesn't end up in scores, at least they get into field goal position. If you really break this game down on paper versus what happened in the last 3 to 4 weeks of the season for each team, and that's what I did, because when I power ranked the game, my spread came up to Boise State -4. Now, what's weird about that is, again, we have too many new variables to go off of. So don't take that as, oh, well, Chase only thinks they're going to win by 4, so I'm going to take +12. Because, let me tell you something, that's all going off of stats that are irrelevant. You know, that's irrelevant. You've got kids that we've never seen play before that are going to be playing, and you've also got kids that were playing last year that we won't ever see play for these teams again. So that you're going off of those stats. So that's why I'm not touching the side of this game, and sides are so finicky right now. We've been able to cherry pick such good games from the start of the season. First day in, 2-1. Next day, 2-1. We have 8 plays on last week's card on Saturday, and we go 7-1. I think that's what we went. I'll have to go back and check those numbers, but we are flat out on fire, and that's because we're cherry picking the games that we know that we can go out there and win on a side play. Totals are another big specialty of ours, but right now the totals are where, on days like today, when you only have 4 games on the board to choose from, the totals is where you can find the most value, because they're more honest and pure, because you still have the same coaching staff. You still have the same playbook. You still have maybe the same quarterback who's running the plays. So with total, you can get more accurate even though you've got new players. when it comes to a side play, you don't know how hard these guys are going to hustle. And if they get up by 21 points, are they going to lay off or are they going to keep going? So I'm not going to touch the side on this one. When I went over the last 4 games for each team last year, as well as the bowl game, and then I power ranked it with both one, I had the total sitting at 62 is where I had it at. 62, 62 and a half, depending on weather. It's going to be good weather. It should be in the 60s out there. Very, very moderate wind, so I don't think that's going to be a factor. So I think it's going to be a good night. People are going to be in a good mood because just a few weeks, it's going to be shit weather out there. And, of course, West Virginia, just never mind. But I think it's just too low. I think 56 and a half is too low. I really think that had they put it even at 59, I probably would have laid off this total because I would have felt like it was just too accurate. But 56 and a half, it jumped off the paper at me immediately when I looked at this game. So this was the first game that I broke down this morning after I had gotten done with baseball, and the last thing that I did before I got on the plane. And the whole flight, I stared at that total and just started breaking down games from last year. And again, I'm kind of contradicting myself when I say, when I sit there and talk about, we only have off last year's stats and, you can't just go off of that. The total gives you a little more leeway with that than the side does. Because of that reason, I wouldn't touch the side with a 10-foot pole. But I am going to go over 56 and a half. That is on the card or will be on the card when I release it. Premium play. So go get it, guys. One of my premium NCAA plays right there for you. Boise and Marshall over 56 and a half. And hopefully that'll be a nice, easy winner for you. So, 3-2 day yesterday with the top play winner. Over 56 and a half, Marshall, Boise State. Let's go have another killer day. $50, 3 days. Go jump on the weekend, guys. You want to stick your toes in the water, see what's going on, see what we're about before you do something long-term. Buy 3 days. It's the best way. You're going to get to see multiple sports, see how we do things, and then next week when you're up a bunch of money, you can use the house's money to buy a longer-term package. So go make sure you get it, guys. ChaseWins.com. I am going through emails as soon as I get these NCAA plays posted up, and I'll get through them as quickly as I can. When you're in the air for a few hours, it kind of backs you up. But don't worry, I will get to them before I call it quits for the day. So love you guys. Marshall, Boise, over 56 and a half. Go get it. And I will see you back tomorrow for a huge day of college football. See you guys.